Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Inspirational Corner with me, your host, Stylisha Bolton, where we encourage you here to live bold, live loud, and live authentically without apology. Welcome to episode 6. Can you all believe it? This is already the sixth episode of the Inspirational Corner podcast. And I just want to let you all know, I just thank you for those that's out there listening, supporting my podcast. Right now, the main platform where I have it, where you can listen to each podcast from episode 1 all the way up until episode 5. And this episode is on YouTube because I'm still trying to figure out how to get it on other platforms right now. So, as of right now, you can listen to all my episodes on my YouTube channel. And I will make sure I put the link so you can go back and listen to all the episodes, or maybe whichever episode you prefer to listen to. With that said, before I get into my topic today and what episode 6 is about, I want to talk about courage. There are many times that we will celebrate, we will put ourselves on a limb for everybody else's dream, but and yet we don't have the courage to live our own dream and bet on ourselves. I can truly say within this year, there's been so many things going on. You know, me hearing people passing away, and I never like to hear that because I have experienced death, in my family, especially with my 2-year-old daughter 12 years ago, which that was devastating. And it's still a journey, and I'm still healing and going through the necessary processes for that. And with that said, a lot of people say life is short. I don't like that term because I don't believe life is short. I believe God gives us plenty of time and plenty of room to live an extraordinary life. But it's up to us to stop choosing mediocre. When you up the word mediocre, and when I look up the word mediocre, it said low quality. So when I think about being mediocre, you think of ordinary. Think people and things that's just average, and places that's just average. In order to not live a mediocre life or a low quality of life, you can't choose what's comfortable. I have been guilty of supporting a lot of people, building other people's dreams and being their cheerleader as a way for me not to be responsible or have the courage to build my own dream. I stopped several years ago living other people's dream and not living my own, building other people's company and not building my own empire and the skills and abilities and talents God has given me. When you do not live your dream or have the courage to live your dream, you will end up leaving this world, leaving this earth, living a mediocre life. And you don't want that. Every day that you have another chance to get up and breathe and hear birds chirp and go out here in the world, have the courage to live the life that you desire to live. Dreams are only dreams if you are not being intentional about making your dreams come true. So that with that said, I think it's so important that we let go of mediocrity and really be honest with ourselves and stop lying to ourselves and be truthful on the type of life you truly want to live. I believe a lot of us are scared to be honest with ourselves. So what we do is we glorify busy to not take a step back and listen to our own thoughts. And when you're running around in this world and just being busy and just doing a whole bunch of things instead of taking the time to say, you know what, I need some downtime to get some clarity on the life that I truly want to live. And when you decide to get that clarity, to take that time and to truly live not just the authentic life, because we throw that word around a lot, or living your truth. That's another thing we quote we throw around a lot, or colloquialism that we throw around a lot. But when you decide to be honest with yourself, you will open up a bigger space in your life. Nothing grows from a comfort zone. Sorry, that's the truth. I know that as well. And I can truly say, because I've been there, got that, and did that, and got the t shirt for that, of dealing with fear and allowing fear to paralyze me from really living a life that I deserve. I had to realize for myself that it's not up to people to understand who I am. It's not up to other people to embrace the things that I'm doing. It's not up to other people to accept me. If I'm not accepting myself, I am doing myself an injustice. Excuse me. If I'm not living my true life that God has put in me to live, it's going to haunt me, because no matter what I try to do, that thing that I'm supposed to do, or that desire that I have, is going to always come back up in my life, and I'm going to always feel unfulfilled, no matter where I live, no matter where I go. And I realize that for myself, writing, not only writing, but all the other things that I'm supposed to do creatively. If I don't do these things, they constantly come up, and I constantly feel unfulfilled. No matter what I try to do, writing, interior design, it's so many other things that's within me that will be revealed in the right timing. But it's so important that you face your truth and face what you really desire to do. You don't want to be in this world just existing, walking dead, and being unhappy, and not living your truth, not living your real purpose on this earth. It saddens me when we say that life is short. Life is not short. God gives us enough time to live so many different versions. We may have one life, but we can live a different version of this life. And that's why it's so important to not be scared to reinvent yourself. Who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, is not who I am now. I never have a problem. For me, I used to feel like, man, when I was doing poetry, that's all people knew me for. But then I had to understand I was more than that. So it was important for me to step out on faith within myself, and trust myself, and believe in myself, and have the faith to say, you know what, I'm more than poetry. I have so many other talents and so many other things that I want to do. So every so couple of years, I reinvent myself, because I grow, I evolve, and I develop. So with that said, this is a perfect spin-off into what I'm going to be talking about today. Stop settling. Have the courage to live multiple versions of your life. Stop saying life is short. Life is not short. Life is deep. Life is expansive. But if you're settling and being mediocre, you're going to always feel life is short, and that there's never enough time, because you're not living your true purpose. We may be one person, but we get to live multiple versions of different lives. We are one person living so many different lives, but it's up to us to live these different versions of our lives with reinventing ourselves. So today, the topic is 5 reasons why you are settling. Like I said before, I believe there are so many reasons why we settle for less. We'll settle for different things in different areas of our lives, but that is truly detrimental to our growth and evolving. When we settle, it's synonymous to being mediocre, and we'll keep a state of stagnancy going on in our lives. It's so important, like I said before, that we step back and gain clarity and start to raise the bar in our lives and start to challenge ourselves. Lately, I've been challenging myself, because I realize I'm still not living the life I'm supposed to live. I'm still not living out my comfort zone. I'm still allowing fear to hold me back. I'm allowing. That's the key word. Because we have choices and we believe we don't have choices because we feel like there's not enough options. So if you believe that, that is what is going to be evident in your life because of your mindset. Your mindset changes everything. And when you believe and know that you have a unlimited mindset, unlimited things that you can choose for from, and when you believe that you are not limited, everything in your world change. And you get out of the repetitive, stagnant life of mediocrity. Clarity helps you grow. It helps you figure out what you really want to be and what you really want to do and who you really want to be. It is so important to become aware of why you have settled for less. Some of us has settled and became comfortable with what we have settled for, but deep down inside we know that there's more to life than just what we're doing on a day-to-day routine basis. So I am going to give you 5 reasons to understand why you are settling for less in your life. The number one reason is fear. Many times we'll settle because of fear. We'll settle for less because of fear. We fear the unknown, so we choose to just stay in our comfort zone. But we all know nothing grows from a comfort zone. Nothing extraordinary can be obtained from a comfort zone. So it's truly important to let go of the fear and launch out into the unknown. Life does not happen in your comfort zone. Life happens outside of your comfort zone. And if you're in that bubble where 90% of the population is what? Being like everyone else, insecure, surviving, which that bubble is called your comfort zone. We allowing fear to run our lives. We have a dull life. We procrastinate. We playing it safe. We live, we settling for less. That's 90% of the population. But real life is happening outside that 98%, which is the 2% mindset of the world where people are getting the most out of their life. They living without limits because there is no limits. They embracing the unknown. They're excited. They're liking change. They're going after their dreams. And they not only dreaming, but they're being intentional about living their dreams. And so I encourage you to not allow fear to keep you in that 98%, that you be in the 2% of the population that's really finding fulfillment and choosing happiness for their lives. The number two reason on why you're settling for less in your life is uncertainty. We settle for less than what we deserve because we are unsure about what we want. We don't know what we want. And that is an excuse too. Because my life coach, she always say that. Us not choosing something is an excuse. If you are struggling with knowing what you want in life, it may be time to explore life. Take a journey, take a step back. You don't have to take a whole week off, or you don't have to travel to a different country just to take a day to get some clarity on where you want to go in life. I think it's important to step back, whether it's a half a day, 2 days, or a week, whatever you want to do, or however many days you want to take off to get that clarity. Because exploring the life you want, you will be able to discover where you want to go and the things that you want to accomplish in your life. When you go through a period of self discovery, it's going to expose you to the world. Things going to start automatically being attracted to you because you're choosing to be intentional about discovering who you really want to be, where you want to go, and where you at this moment in your life, because we all grow and evolve if we choose to, because growth and evolving is a choice. Each life experiences will help us create clarity on the life we truly want to live. There is a quote, because you all know I love quotes. It's a quote by Mandy Hale that says, "Trust the wait, Embrace the uncertainty. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. Let me repeat that quote again. It's by Mandy Hale. It says, trust the wait, embrace the uncertainty, enjoy the beauty of becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. When you don't have everything all figured out, I am a true believer and know for a fact, because all the things that I've been through in my life and still currently evolving through that. When you're not trying to plan every moment, every detail of your life, life becomes that much better because you're living in a flow. When you are open to just say, okay, I am going to embrace the flow of my life and be open to how things flow. I believe you will enjoy life a little bit more and you will see who you really truly supposed to be in this world. Number three, another reason why you are settling for less is because of impatient. When you are impatient, it can make you miss out on your greatest life. Many people settle for less because they are too impatient to wait for what they really want in life. They don't want to wait. They want to, we live in a fast food generation. We want it now. We want it now. And so you will miss out on the life you really supposed to have because you're supposed to be patient. When you decide to wait patiently for what you really want, you alleviate unnecessary stress in your life. So I encourage you all to wait patiently for what you want. I'm not saying be stagnant or allow fear to hold you back. Patience has nothing to do with fear. Patience is being mindful of, I want that, but I'm willing to take this course or save up money to do what I really want to do. That's what patience is. Instead of rushing and getting something that is going to bring on more stress in your life. Like I said, being patient alleviates unnecessary stress. And number four, another reason why you're settling, not knowing your worth. Now, this is a big one. Oh my goodness. This is a big one. This is something I have constantly dealt with in my life. Outsourcing my worth to the men that I were involved with, to family members, to quote unquote friends, because they really weren't friends at the time, but me outsourcing my self worth to other people. And I just want to tell you, when you don't know how much you're worth or whose you are and who you are, you will constantly settle for anything. And you will get the wrong things. And if you don't spend time building up your self worth, self love, self confidence, and self esteem, you will constantly discount your worth. I have learned in my life that people will treat you how you treat yourself. It is important to nurture the love and confidence within yourself so you can recognize your worth. It is so important that you nurture the love within yourself and confidence within yourself so you can recognize your own worth, because when you don't recognize your own worth, you start discounting yourself. And there's a quote that I love, and I actually have to get it so I can quote it right, um because it talks about, if you feel like you've been marked down, get behind the glass where the valuables are. And that quote, I don't know who made that quote, um who did that quote, because that quote is so profound. When you're valuable, you know that you shouldn't be on the clearance rack. Clearance rack things get discounted down from their original value. But when you are valuable, like you think of Chanel, you think of I think of some of the famous upscale brands that actually lost their valuableness because of everybody can get it. It's anybody could get a Louis Vuitton now. So I don't look at Louis Vuitton as upscale as I would Chanel. Or when things become to a point where everybody can buy it now, it loses its value. Valuables are things that's very exclusive. Everybody can't be able to afford something that's so valuable. And so you want to be a valuable. So when you stop discounting yourself and when you learn how much you're worth, you won't be on the discount rack anymore or the clearance rack of life, cuz people will treat you different. They don't have to see your value. As long as you see your value and treat yourself as such, you're going to constantly go up in value and anybody can't have access to you. And I believe that's so important. And the last one, number 5, and I think I've talked about this word a lot. Another reason why you're settling is because mediocrity. We settle in our life because we become okay with being mediocre. Some of us has been in our comfort zone so long, we are just frozen there. We're okay with being mediocre. We're okay with seeing the same thing every day, doing the same thing over and over again, like an insanity circle. We're okay with living the same life 52 weeks in a row, 365 days every year. We're okay with that because that has become our place of comfort and mediocrity. Some people are okay with being mediocre because that is their nature. But if you are a person that know you desire more and you feel unfulfilled at this point in your life and there's more for you in your life, then it's time to get out of the mediocre cycle. Mediocrity keeps you stagnant and it creates procrastination. And I can be honest with you all, I used to be, and I'm still working on this because I'm human, but I used to be a big procrastinator. And I realized that procrastination was just an excuse for me to hold myself back and not live an extraordinary, exceptional life and not to be the exceptional person that God called me to be. I'm not an ordinary woman. I'm an extraordinary woman. And once I decided to realize, Stylisha, nothing about you is ordinary. You're not average because nothing that you've been through in your life is average. You can't be like all the average people. You're an extraordinary woman. So other people is not going to understand who you are. You can expect family, uh, friends, and whoever to understand your life and understand who you are. It's not meant for them to understand, and it's actually none of their business. And mediocrity keeps you at a level of never really growing. You'll constantly hit a ceiling. I've been there. I used to feel like I kept on constantly hitting a ceiling in my life. And if we really think about it, there is no ceiling. Everything in life is unlimited and the sky is the limit. But I felt like I kept on hitting the ceiling in my life and over again. And I realized it's because I was entertaining and embracing mediocre, the word mediocre, being around mediocre people. And if you go back, I believe, to episode 4, where I talk about creating a life you love, I talk about subtracting some people, deleting some people from your life because as you grow, you don't want to be around people that's not growing with you or holding you back. Like I said in that episode, it doesn't have to be drama, but and you don't have to be mean or nasty towards that person. It's just a simple a switch in elevation because you no longer will be entertaining the conversations with that person. Because if you are striving to live extraordinary life and you know that you're an extraordinary person, you'll get sick and tired of entertaining mediocre people, mediocre things, mediocre places, and mediocre conversations because you're upgrading and up leveling. And some people say, "Oh, you think you all that? You think you bougie?" And I have been called all that. And you know what? I'm at a point in my life now I don't even care. I laugh, and I don't expect other people to understand who I am and the way I roll. I have learned that being mediocre is a slow death for me. But because I choose to be extraordinary and go after things that most people wouldn't go after, or people say, "Oh my God, you crazy? Why you doing that?" and stuff. I don't care. I don't give certain people and most people access to me anymore because of the extraordinary life I live. And You can love people, but you can love people also from afar. I've learned that as well. And so with that, you have to let mediocrity go so you could grab hold on to your extraordinary life. I hope that this week you take some time to focus on how you can stop settling in your life by putting one of the 5 reasons into practice. So let's go over the 5 reasons again. The first one was fear. A lot of us are mediocre because we allowing fear to hold us back. The second was uncertainty. Get clear on the things that you want to accomplish in your life. That's why it's so important to write down your goals. The third thing was impatient. Stop trying to do everything the fast food way and be a microwavable generation. Take the time to be patient, to put in the work, save up the money, whatever you got to do to go to that next level in your life. Number four was not knowing your worth. Take some time to step back, deal with your issues, your wounds, your scars, and listen to your own self talk to know where you at on that worth barometer. And if it's real low, if your self-worth is real low, real low, do the work. Don't be scared to do the work. Because the work, doing the work and putting in the time is going to be a great blessing to you. I know because I've done so much soul work and taking the time, spending personal time within myself, prayer, meditating, and everything that I need to do for me to do the work. And I'm still doing the work to deal with issues and things in my life that equal low self worth. The last thing we talked about was mediocrity. And I think I've hit the head on the nail and talked about it and beat a dead horse. So I don't want to keep on going into that. But mediocrity can hurt you more than it can help you. It can stop you and stifle your growth to live an extraordinary life when you're not an ordinary person. When you are an extraordinary person. If you want to be average, be mediocre. But if you know your life has something more for you and God has something more for you, it's time to get out that comfort zone and live an extraordinary life. So, with that said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode as we talked about 5 ways to know that you're settling. I hope this resonated with you in some way, shape, or form and you enjoyed it. So, until then, I want you and I encourage you to live bold, live loud, and live authentically without apology. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and catch you on the next episode.